And we should be live.
There we go.
Yay. Excuse me.
So, hello everyone, both here with us while we're live now and everyone in the future. This is the Children of Anima Character Showcase live stream. I'm Tarly Wolf, co-writer, and the one currently drawing is Ty Lane, artist and co-writer.
Hello.
By this point, you all probably know what's going on here. It's a character showcase live stream where we talk about specific characters while Ty draws them holding their LGBTQ plus blacks. Today we will be drawing Trisha Bell, who is a bit of a firecracker in the Children of Anima comic. You'll see her first in chapter 2 and in several of the following chapters after that. She's not afraid to assert herself, especially if someone is attempting to appear more threatening than they actually are. Finally, if you haven't read the prologue yet, we strongly encourage you to. The link is posted in the description, and you can click on it now or after the live stream. As of yesterday, there are more pages available to the public as well, so check those out when you have a minute. You'll also find links to our Facebook page where you can stay caught up with all our news and information, and our Twitter, and everything else we happen to be doing.
I think I've also added the Instagram.
Oh yeah, that's a new thing we have. We have an Instagram
now.
So check that out when you want to. As always, feel free to ask any questions you might have, either about Trisha or wolves or whatever. Any questions that aren't specifically about this may get noted and commented on in another video where it may be more relevant, but we will be keeping note of it, and we will mention that we're putting it aside so you don't feel like you're being overlooked. But we love to hear your questions, so keep them coming. So, a little about Trisha. So she is 15. She has brown hair, which she usually wears in a ponytail or a braid, although here she's let her hair down to flow in the wind. She's about 5'4". She doesn't like bullies, and she will not hesitate to fly headfirst into a confrontation with one. Sorry, my lips kind of did a weird thing there. Her personal motto is that no insult should be left unanswered. She believes that they will only grow and fester and be left there, so it's best to stop them before they have a chance to do anything. And really, anyone who insults her shouldn't, so yeah. So she...
Nothing. I was just making a noise.
Okay. Her place in the pack, she is a beta trainee. Now, what that means is that she is next in line to be beta should anything happen to Zoe, who is the current beta of the Graham pack. So what happens in a wolf pack, at least, is that at 13, all wolf children are tapped by an older member of the pack to begin training in one of the pack jobs. Beta, Delta, Lord Leader, Warrior, Sentinel, Healer, etc. And for the next 5-6 years, they're trained in how to do pretty much everything. Um, and then at 18 they go off to college, and maybe do some traveling, and then they come back and they continue that training, and they start taking over little duties, helping out in that position. Well, for those that have a lot of them, say like warrior, sentinel, those sorts of jobs, they are then pulled into regular routines, so that they can start doing the job and learning how to do it and everything. Those who are tapped as a beta, delta, or alpha trainee, they kind of stay in training clear up until the previous delta, alpha, or beta dies, at which point they take over. But they do still help out with some of the duties, so they having a trainee helps lighten their load a little. So there's that, and it does give them some real world experience, quote unquote. So yeah, she is dominant enough that she's been in training to become the next beta. Not that she really wants anything to happen to Zoe. She's quite happy to stay a trainee for the next couple decades at least. Being 15, she doesn't really have a job much. I mean, she's a high school student, so she has been considering getting an after-school job, but there's not really that many options for one in a town as small as Green Lake. Though she has been looking for something for the summer, so we'll see what happens there. Let's see. Her father is dead. He died in the massacre 10 years ago. Her mother is still alive, however. She was gone during the massacre. So her business, her job took her out of state. So she was safe, I guess, when all of this was happening. She is actually, her mother's actually one of the few adult wolves. Actually, pretty much the only adult wolf that survived the massacre who wasn't an elder. So there's that. Yeah. That's actually Trisha's earliest memory. Is the massacre. Like not the actual massacre itself, but is there pressure on shifters in high school to participate in sports? Oh, definitely. Yeah. A lot of them. It depends on which shifter race they are, but a lot of them do tend to be stronger, faster, more agile, one or more of those things. So yeah, the sports teams definitely would like shifters to be on their teams if they can manage it. That being said, not every shifter wants to participate in sports. For instance, Trisha is a theater nerd.
Yes.
She I mean, don't get us wrong. She enjoys running and being athletic, but she's a theater nerd. As you can see from her shirt, well, you will see from her shirt. See, she is wearing a Rent t-shirt, which is a play. But yeah, they are definitely, there is pressure to join sports in high school for shifters. But as any other student, the shifters are free to say no. So, because not all of them want to be involved in sports. Uh, let's see. Bit of history on Trisha. Her earliest memory is actually being hugged by her father before she was handed off to an elder. In her memory, her father had left only for a few minutes, although sometimes it's for hours, and then Zeke was howling as though someone had torn his heart from his chest. Her father never came home, and that was the day of the massacre. And in her nightmares, sometimes that one memory can become that he has just left the house, and then suddenly it's happening. And for others, it's fine, and time drags on as it does in a nightmare, and she knows, but there's nothing she can do. But as can happen in a nightmare. She was 5 years old when the massacre happened. So she has literally grown up watching the pack heal from this destruction. She's watched her alpha bend over backwards to make sure they were safe, that their lives were as stable as possible while he adjusted to his new position. She's watched him sacrifice everything, and she loves him for it. It's not a romantic love. It's the love of a child for a parent, basically. Not that he's her father.
I almost feel like it's almost closer to that of like a little sister and a big brother.
Yeah, I could go with that. Yeah, it's familial, definitely. So yeah, Trisha has never left Green Lake, although she does have thoughts about going to school somewhere on the East Coast, maybe out of the country if she can manage it. It depends on what she really wants to do and where the best school for that is and whether or not she can get into it. Yeah, she doesn't know what she wants to do in college yet. She just knows that she will be going. So, let's see. She was 13 when she was tapped as a beta trainee. So, being 15, she's been training in that for the last 2 years. When she graduates college, she will continue training and be considered Zoe's helper. Which, again, I mentioned previously a bit. But, yeah. Ideally, well, not ideally, but occasionally you'll find that wolves, or who have been tapped by the Delta, the Beta, or the Alpha, tend to major or minor in something that will be helpful in that. For instance, Ariel, who is the pack lore leader, which isn't one of the previous three. One of her minors was supernatural sciences or something like that, in which the course was about studying the supernatural races of the world, the creatures that exist in it, ideal habitats, the things like that, which helped her prepare for the job as the lore leader. So that's literally what she needs to know. It also introduced her to a couple of contacts and resources that she could use should she need to look something up, which she has definitely kept note of over the last several years since.
But that's Ariel.
Ariel. That's not Trisha. Trisha doesn't know what she's going to major or minor in yet, though probably.
Let's be real. It's something. She's gonna major in something in theater.
Oh, probably. It's either gonna be her major or it's gonna be one of her minors. Because She likes it a lot. Let's see. We can talk about her relationship to Zeke a little, I suppose.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, he's kind of the older brother, almost honorary parental figure, though, but that's mostly because he's the alpha and therefore an authority figure. But there are definitely times in which it's more of a brother-sister relationship. There were several times when she was a child when he was the one to soothe away her nightmares. She remembers one night in particular. It was less than a week after the massacre. Her mother hadn't returned yet, and her business was requiring her to stay away still, so that was the thing. Trisha had a nightmare, and it was Zeke who came to her, holding her tightly, securely, with all the comfort and love he had in him. She remembers that he was crying that night too, although he never made a sound about it as he soothed her back to sleep. Now, she knows, on a lighter note, she knows that Zeke can be paranoid. Everyone in the pack knows that Zeke can be paranoid. He's overprotective, quick to react to unnecessary threats, but Trisha knows what it was like those first few years. Everyone else thinks that she was too young, really, but she remembers the heavy cloud of the pack. She remembers the stress and the worry that someone would take them away or come challenge Zeke for his right to have them. She is as protective of him as he is of them. Zeke would die before any harm would come to them, and she is just as determined to make sure no harm comes to him. So there's a dependency between them, or not between them necessarily, but she counts on his overprotectiveness. Although she does acknowledge that he goes too far sometimes. And she is one of those women who is not afraid to tell him that he's being too much. Yes, Zeke, I have to go out after dark. I have a play tonight, and you're going to be there, so there's no problem, is there? Let's see. She's obviously spent a lot of time with Zoe, in the pack as she's training to be the next beta. And having several strong females in the pack has definitely helped shape who she is as well. Like, there was a strong female, at least one strong female in the pack before. Obviously, the last alpha was female, Zeke's mother. But the three females who have had a strong influence on Trisha are Zoe, Clara, Ariel. She knows that women can be strong and capable, and that there's no shame in that. Which means that as a 15-year-old high school female, she is not afraid to state her mind. It also means that, unlike a lot of high school females, she is very certain about who she is and what she's willing to aim for and settle for, or not settle for, as the case may be. So yeah, she's definitely the leader of the pack, so to speak, in high school, because she's just that confident female. I wouldn't say she's like the most popular kid in school. She's not. She doesn't have the patience to politic like that to that degree. But she's definitely well known at the school. To that end, she has had a couple of relationships. Not too many. She's only like 15. But they've mostly been male because Green Lake is small and the number of girls interested in her are unsurprisingly small. That hasn't stopped her own crushes from forming, and Trinity has had to listen to her whining when nothing can come of it. But yeah, none of the relationships have been serious, and none have lasted for more than a few months. They don't really go anywhere because she can't see anything happening. And Trisha's one of those girls where if she doesn't see, after a couple of months, if she doesn't see this lasting a while or going somewhere, if she doesn't see you as part of her life, she's not going to drag it out. I mean, she's remained friends with, at least one of the guys. Because they had some fun times, but she just didn't see anything else happening, so they broke it off. Perhaps the one thing she's most excited about for college is going to a place with a wider variety of people. Because Green Lake is, well, it's a small town in Oregon. Which means that there isn't a lot of choices. Now, that's not to say that anything bad about small towns in general. Small towns could be really good for people. She's just looking, eager to, expand her worldview, as the case may be. Let's see. Motivations. So let's go first with our most lighthearted motivations, is that she wants to be on a stage in Broadway. I suppose that's more of a goal than a motivation.
Sorry, she wants to be, and my brain just went, the very best. I'm sorry.
She does not want to catch Pokemon.
Are you sure? I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah, I'm sure. Are you kidding? She's a wolf. She'd be more likely to chase them down and go, ooh, I'm feeling hungry. In fact, I'm fairly certain Zeke watched those as a child and just wanted to have a turkey. He got hungry. Of course, that's Zeke, that's not Trisha, but yeah. I'd say one of her goals is to be on a stage on Broadway. She enjoys the rush of being on a stage in front of people, and being on Broadway would mean that she had the talent to do something like that. And while it would definitely mean going to New York, which is a city a lot of shifters avoid like the plague,
it's too loud and so many smells.
Oh, so many smells.
Not all of them.
And oh, the noises. But yeah, she would do it to be on that stage. Now don't tell Trisha this, but Zeke has been making plans to arrange for Trisha to go see a Broadway play when she turns 18. Ariel's going to go with her because he can't go that far from his territory. But don't tell Trisha this. It's a surprise. her motivations, one of them is definitely that she wants to be something. Like, she wants to be part of the pack, and she doesn't want to leave the pack and join another pack, but she also wants to have her name known. So there's that. Another motivation is that she wants to strengthen the pack in any way she can. To protect it from harm or anyone coming against them or anything like that. In that vein, she's going to be getting good grades, doing whatever extracurriculars she can. She's contributing to the pack's success and. Sorry, I'm watching Ty.
Look, I made a mistake, okay?
It's okay. But yeah, just contributing in any way she can to the pack's success and strength. So yeah, those are her motivations. But yeah, the stage is her life. She's been, she was in her very first play in elementary school when she was in 5th grade. It was a tiny little nonsense thing, but she loved it. She adored it. And has been actively seeking out any opportunity to do so, and is very upset that there's not a community theater in Green Lake. About once a year or so, one of the adults will take her up to Portland to see something on. I think one of her favorite memories about that was when she was brought up here to watch A Midsummer Night's Dream. And there was this woman playing Puck. And she fell in love with Puck. Although the woman who portrayed him was cute too, so there's that. She wants to be Puck on stage someday. That little chaos agent. So territoriality translates oddly into a technological world. How would it translate into an online social grouping instead of physical world grouping? So, it really doesn't. Territoriality? Do you mean like territory? Like a shifter's territory in which they stay in? Or do you mean like... I'm not sure what you mean by that, unless you mean like, this is where I am, so this is where I stay. I personally have never been to Ashland, but I'm sure Trisha really wants to go there. But yeah, so if you mean like territory in general, it doesn't translate to the online social grouping things. Shifters are, especially the alphas, are tied to their physical territories. So like if Zeke wanted to, he could travel the world online and go anywhere he wanted and be part of any group he wanted. He's just kind of busy with the real world, the physical world. Online world's real in a way. So yeah. I hope that answered. Or territory they protect because people may know each other online and look out for each other.
There isn't really necessarily a territory online.
There isn't.
They'll look out for each other like individually, and people are known for like if somebody is like, oh yeah, I'm from this pack of this and this is my alpha. That's one thing, but they're not like. It's not something that oh, what was I gonna say? It disappeared. It was there and then it was gone.
It's also like as individuals, they may like, if you're ganging up on this person, I'm gonna step in and tell you off because that's not right. But no wolf would consider anything online as part of their territory. Like, they have friends just like anyone else.
Yeah.
But they're not tied to it the same way they are to the land they inhabit. Like, you'll see lots of shifters with technology. You know, they like technology, they like computers and TV and everything, but you will rarely ever see a shifter who is as tied to it as we are as humans, mainly because they are so closely tied with nature. Like they have to be out there in it. So it's just, they're not wired to look at online communities in the same way as physical communities. That's not to say they can't, like, make connections with people online. They totally can. It's totally a thing. And they may try to, like, look out for that person if they're having problems, but it's not... Like, an alpha isn't going to see you as part of their pack, even though you're half the country away and have never wanted to join the pack. And they're not going to travel halfway across the country to beat someone up for you. One of the reasons being they can't leave their physical territory. And second, you haven't asked them to. And third, well, you're halfway across the country. Did that answer your question somewhere? Maybe? I hope so. You got anything else to say about it?
Not really. I know, I'm no help.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So my friends won't be pack. How much is being able to smell people and remember them by their scent make them more real than what is online?
So actually none of it. To be pack, you have to ask to be pack, and you have to be accepted by the alpha. You know, like, as Zeke has said many times, you don't have to be pack to be family. You can be a friend of the pack and not be pack. Basically, what being the difference between it is that if, say, there's Trisha and there's this other human who is Trisha's friend, I guess. Both of them are being severely picked on, bullied, beat up, whatever, by this other person at school. Because she is pack, Zeke has the legal right to go out and scare, minorly hurt, avenge his pack member. He has the legal right to do that because he is defending Trisha. He does not have the legal right to do anything be for Trisha's friend, because she is a friend of the pack and not pack herself. And she isn't pack because she hasn't asked to be, she hasn't been accepted, and she's underage, so she can't ask to be accepted anyway. Okay, cool. That helps. Good. So yeah, you can be friends of the pack without being pack. And you could just be friends with members of the pack. So, yeah. Cool, we got around to the answer eventually.
Yay.
Okay, let's see. Sorry, distracted slightly by Ty's drawing. Or filling, I guess. Let's see. Motivations, goals, little things on that. Okay, so her fear is kind of similar to the rest of the original Graham packs. Her fear is going through the massacre again, or watching everyone she loves leave and never return. She also fears that the thing that did the massacre will return to finish its job. It doesn't help that no one knows what it was or why it came or anything about it, so it remains that unknowing fear that you can't put a face to or an image to, and it's just there and often larger than life because of it. But like many others of the pack, she's got that fear because she had to live through it. So yeah. Let's see. That brings us to Trisha's inspiration. So Trisha is kind of a hodgepodge of different things.
I will admit, design-wise, she's a little bit actually inspired by us. If you think about, specifically us in high school.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, a little more than I'd originally planned, because
yeah,
I don't think she had glasses in her original incarnation.
I don't think so, but I was drawing so many characters, not a single one had glasses.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's draw this one with glasses, and she looks cute with them, so...
She does.
Mm-hmm. But mostly in the style, especially like when I drew her here, Tara and I were both in fact, we met through theater.
We did.
And that was kind of one of the reasons why I started going the way I did with Trisha's design. Specifically, I was a huge techie, and I had a habit of wearing these cargo shorts that actually were trip pants that I unzipped the other thing. Oh. Question, but why does her shirt say Rent? Is it a logo for something? Yes, actually, it's a logo for the play Rent, which is a play that's it's a musical actually that goes very heavy into different aspects of the LGBT community. And it's a very good one. It has great music. It's also very sad. But I highly recommend it to anybody who wants to see something fun. Also, hello Tempe, it's nice to meet you.
Hello. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for the question. Yeah, we are yeah.
But yeah, no, there are no dumb questions. But as I was saying, she's some of her look is kind of inspired by that, as well as some other people we knew through theater and stuff like that, at least when I was designing her.
that's just parts of her personality are inspired by a lot of people in our friend group from back in high school. Like, they're not directly this, like, anything we can say, yes, this specific thing is from this person. But it's very much we had several people in the group who were very fighty.
We had one particular friend in theater who was shorter than me, but she was a firecracker, and I love her to death.
Yep.
She had a personality that was larger than life.
She did.
And I feel like that kind of is definitely one of the things that we used to portray in Trisha.
Yeah. Then she's obviously, as we mentioned, involved in school theater, so there's that connection. There were Ty and I, and there were a couple of, not necessarily the friend group in particular, but several other people we hung out with that were also involved with theater. And they had a very vast range of personality quirks that were interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, you can say that. We had some weirdos. I love them
really
to death.
Did.
Theater is a home for weirdos, though. Let me just say that much.
And Trisha definitely fits right in. We're not gonna get too deep into all of her little quirks necessarily. But she's got them. Although you will never see her performing in a musical because she can't sing, like, at all. People cringe when she tries it, so she doesn't sing. She cringes when she tries it. Okay, so she doesn't sing, and it makes her sad because she would love to be in Rent or Wicked or Phantom of the Opera or anything like that, but she can't. Like, she's got one of those voices where even if you put her in a chorus with 10 other voices, you would still hear her.
Poor baby girl.
Yep, poor baby girl. Which does make some things a little more complicated about her Broadway dream. But there are Broadway plays that aren't musicals. Oh, ow. Look, there's Trisha. So if either of those watching have any other questions for us, anything at all at this point, we would be happy to answer them. At this point, we're kind of nearing the end of the things we'd planned to talk about, so... Once more. Yeah, that's right. Allison Hannigan did not sing in Buffy, that's right. For pretty much the same reason. But you still won't have her... well, Trisha won't be singing in any musical for exactly those same reasons. Oh, hey, look, Hayden! I saw Hayden!
Oh, yeah! I pull him up whenever I'm trying to get the outline color. Because what is actually saving my outline color in a palette?
Yeah, because you could do that too, yeah.
Shh.
No, I know why you really do it. You really just want to keep showing him off every live stream.
Look. Don't call me out like this.
So what are you most excited about for Trisha? Okay.
I'm most excited about a certain interaction with a character that will be showcased next week, actually.
Yep.
She's going to have a very interesting interaction with a member from a crow murder that is going to be moving into the city or town, I guess. And they both go to the same school. He's a year older than her, and they don't get along.
They don't. They won't. No.
To be fair, he's a little shit.
He is a little shit.
But yeah, that's one of the things I'm most excited for. That and seeing her interact with hate. Honestly, it's her interaction with other characters that I'm most excited for.
Yeah, she's very much. She's definitely got that. I'm a very confident young woman, but also I'm going to listen to you like you actually have something interesting to say.
Yeah.
Which she definitely does with Hayden on several occasions. That we see anyway. And you could probably tell from the picture and her expression, but she's a happy young woman. Like when you piss her off, she is terrifying. In that way that 15-year-old girls can be.
I said, but in general, she's a kid.
Yeah, she's just a happy, fairly well-adjusted teenage girl.
Yeah, well-adjusted considering things.
Yeah. That just wants to have a good time. And that's have a good time in the most literal sense of the word, in that she just wants to have fun. But yeah, I would say that her interaction with a certain crow is something I'm most looking forward to too, or as well. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen for a couple of chapters.
Yeah.
Mainly because we got to build up to it and everything else. But I am definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Pretty good. What's her favorite color? Let's see. Her favorite color.
It's the first time I've even thought about that for any of the characters.
I mean, we should have. It's a fairly standard question.
It really is. I feel
right?
stupid now.
I'd say it's probably either blue or red.
I could see her really liking blues.
Yeah, I could also see blues.
I mean, you said blue or red.
I did. I was reading the next question.
Ah.
Is she a happy so yeah, first of all, Tumpy, to answer your question, blue or red, although probably blue. Is she a happy warrior type who is happy when fighting the good fight, either with words or physical? No. When she's fighting, the happy kind of happy-go-lucky girl kind of fades, and she becomes very serious. Like she believes that fighting is serious, and that it's a thing that should be gone into with what's the word I'm looking for? I had, I had a word.
You had a
But
word
no,
and then
he's not a happy warrior type. Um, sorry, what'd you say, Ty?
I was just laughing at you.
Okay, yeah, because words are hard today, apparently.
I mean, that's been me the past week, so
It really has.
brain go burr.
But yeah, no, if she's fighting either with words or physically fighting, she's very serious about them. She is quick with her words, mind you. But, if she gets into a fight, you see a different version of her personality. Yeah. It's almost harsher. It's definitely harsher.
Are some shifters colorblind or see more detail in different parts of the spectrum? I would say in their human form, their vision is color-wise is maybe a little duller than a human's, depending on whether or not that particular shifter is like that the animal that particular shifter is colorblind. Their shifted form, their animal form, is definitely going to be whatever that animal is.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
say there's, and I'm not saying there is, but I believe it's the rainbow shrimp. If there were a rainbow shrimp shifter, not saying there is, they would have a ridiculous color spectrum eyesight. Not saying there is, that it sounds fucking hilarious because those are the meanest ass bitches on the planet.
I need to go look this thing up.
I believe it's called the rainbow shrimp.
Okay. Okay, well, that's something I'm going to be doing after the stream. So yeah. There's Shifter's animal form does
mantis shrimp.
Affect,
that's what it is.
Mantis shrimp. Okay. It does affect how they see or what they can see. Not to the extreme that it does if they're animal, as Ty already said. But like if we had a dog shifter.
Well, I mean the wolf shifters.
Yeah. Are wolves colorblind?
I mean, I believe it's the same with dogs because they're.
Well, I know dogs are colorblind, but.
Well, let's see.
But yeah.
No, wolves are not colorblind.
Okay. So if we had a dog shifter, which we don't because dogs are a yeah, red thing.
Even though wolves do not see as many colors as we do, this doesn't mean that they see the world as black and white. Wolves have dichromatic vision, and they can see variations of 2 colors.
Does it say what colors?
No.
Okay. So when they're in their wolf form, they see those 2 colors, or in those 2 colors. But when they're in human form, they do have the full human spectrum. Although dimmer, maybe, or altered, or something. They don't see exactly how we as humans do. Always going for those hard questions.
Just had us just sitting here.
Great, it's great though. I mean, yeah, make us think. All right. I believe that's everything we had figured out. If either of you have any more questions, we'll be happy to answer them. But if you don't, I think that's it for us. Oh, ow. Just waiting for this video to catch up with you guys. That's fair. The question about her favorite color prompted yours, I suppose. Yeah. It's a good jump off, though. Yeah. All right. Yep. All right. If you apparently have no other questions, we will see you all next week then. It will be on Friday. Next week's is on Friday. It will be Apollo, who is a crow shifter non-binary.
Yes, I believe he was the non-binary. Yep.
Yes, he is non-binary. And we will be very happy to tell you all about him because he is an interesting character who...
He is the bane of Trisha's existence.
He really is.
And it's amazing.
He really is. Alright, so thank you all for stopping by and sticking with us and asking your questions. And to everyone watching this in the future, if you have questions, pop them into the comments below and we will see about gathering all of them together and putting out another Q&A video answering all of the ones that don't necessarily fit into one particular character showcase video.
On that note, we are going to be planning on doing a magic in the world of anima specific live stream. When that live stream will happen, we will have to announce at a later date.
Mm-hmm.
But
our schedules are kind of full for the next month.
They really are. In fact, I mean, we've got a big charity live stream that we're going to be doing here in June. Mm-hmm. There's going to be more information about that. We'd love to see you all there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
A lot of goofy stuff. But on that note, again, more will be published about that later. Check out our Facebook page. Keep an eye on that. That's where it'll be talked about. And we'll talk more about it on the lead up to that live stream.
Oh, yeah. We'll make sure all the information is given out before that actually happens.
Yes. The finished picture will also be posted up on our live stream. We'll also post it to our Twitter.
And our Facebook page.
And our Facebook page. That's what I meant.
Live stream.
Oh, I'm dumb. I've got live stream on the brain. It'll be posted to our Facebook as well as our Twitter. But yes.
So, again, thank you for stopping by. It was great having you. Your questions are amazing.
Alright, well, y'all have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye!